Let's talk about the time when Peter Parker became Spider-Man at the age of 35. It's a nice snowy day in New York City, and we see an older version of Peter Parker checking himself out in the mirror. He just woke up and we see him getting dressed. Morning, guys. Dad! Hey, Dad, you sound tired. Late night? We see Peter is a father of 2 kids. His son's name is Richard and his daughter's name is May. And of course, his baby mama and wife is Mary Jane. I gotta say, Tiger, it looks like you need some coffee. Peter tells her he came home late and didn't get much sleep. You didn't sleep or you couldn't sleep. A little bit of both. May grabs this silver ball, but Peter snatches it immediately, saying that's not a toy, kiddo. You want to talk about what's going on with you, Peter? Yes, I do, but I gotta run to work right now. I'll talk to you later. And he leaves the house heading for work. He walks into the building. Hey, Parker. Hey, Betty. But then we hear a familiar voice. Parker! Only person that yells Parker like that is James Jonah Jameson. But he's not talking to Peter as he says, oh, hey there, Peter. Morning, boss. How are you? No time for chit chat. Parker! Parker! And we find out in this universe, Ben Parker is still alive. Peter, Ben, and Jameson working at the same job is crazy. Is there something you need, Jonah? Our meeting's at 4, but I just found out we got some other shit going on, so do you need me to push it back? Nah, I'll be there. Peter walks in the room. Yo, Unc, you ready to go? Give me 15 minutes. But why you late? It's probably because I was neither on time or early. Oh, okay, we got a little clever kid in here, huh? Peter tells Jonah and Ben they need their own show. Wow, we already got our own paper. Ben grabs his coat and gets ready to leave. Before they leave, Jonah stops Peter. Where's your tie? To keep it a buck, I don't even own a tie. Jonah tells him you have to wear a tie and takes his off and starts putting it on Peter. The Jonah in this universe is wholesome. Yo, Jonah, how you think my unc's doing? Oh yeah, me and your uncle just love talking about our feelings together. It's like, nah, if you really want to know how your uncle's doing, just talk to him. Alright, bro. And Peter, I'm gonna want that tie back. Peter and Ben are walking through the snowy city. Peter finally asks his uncle, how are you doing? Why? What do you mean why? You won't talk about what happened. You haven't said not one word about how you feel. Peter, you were 15 when your parents died and you came to live with me and May. That first year was hard for you. Heck, it was hard for all of us. But we loved you and protected you unconditionally. I tried to teach you about the world and prepare you for it, while May was better at all this kind of stuff. But one thing we never tried to do was replace your parents because we couldn't. We find out Peter's parents died 20 years ago. It's been a long time, but has one day gone past where you haven't thought about them? Is there one day that it doesn't hurt that they're gone? No. Then you know exactly how I feel. We see a crowd of people at the memorial for the Stark attack, and one of the names on that memorial is May Parker. We also see Norman Osborn, R.I.P., and we see a blind man with red hair preaching. Father Murdoch is on the podium. These lives were taken before their time. And yes, heaven is more crowded today than we prefer. But as you wake and work, then sleep and dream, it will be about them. And when you recall each sweet memory of the departed, as the love swells within your heart, I encourage you listen closely. Listen and you will hear your angel singing. My boy up there preaching. Then he introduces Harry Osborn to the podium, because on that day his dad and mother died. Thank you, Father. Emotional day, and Father Murdoch is right. The air is thick with memories. But now I can't make no more memories. And to keep it a buck, I'm not sure I will ever move on or get better, because I'm alone. Memories just aren't enough. And I'm not sure any of us should be expected to live with that. Once the conference is over, we catch up with Peter and his family. He tells his family to head home and that he'll be home in a little bit. When they return to the Bugle, they see Jonah standing before a board. He looks mad as shit and he throws some newspapers. Then he barges out the door. I quit! He walks right past them and walks out. Ben tells Peter, go to your desk, keep your head low, we'll talk later. And he walks into the room. Did I miss something? Yeah, we were just telling Jonah there's gonna be some editorial reconstructing in the paper, but Jonah wasn't rocking with that change. And how do you feel about them, Robbie? I'm 2 years away from maxing out my pension. I feel like it could be good. Sure, we all got something to fight for. Mind if I ask you what the changes are? So yeah, we're getting a lot of complaints from our advertisers about more inflammatory content in our papers. They're really uncomfortable with how much the Bugle is looking into the Stark terror attacks. So we're gonna be making some changes at both the board and the broader ownership in general. And how do you think I should feel about that? And we see the man at the other end of the table is Kingpin. Jameson's out and now the paper needs new leadership. You're the obvious choice, so I suppose congratulations, Mr. Parker. It seems you got yourself the promotion. That's if you want the job, of course, and if you can toe the line. Ben looks him in the face with a grin, then turns his back, walking out the door, declining his offer. Walking up to Jonah, hey twin, what we finna do now? Later that day, it's nighttime and we see Fisk going to his car. Boom! That shit blows up! We see that Green Goblin just did that shit. With a little Iron Man suit design, that shit tough! Jonah and Ben are at a bar getting drinks. Hey, we need to lock in and start our own paper. We not really good at anything else, we love this shit. We gonna do it better this time. We gonna do it right. And what does that look like? Doing it right. That's easy. We tell the truth. The truth? The truth? The truth. That's perfect. Thanks for that. What? You don't agree, gang? There's no truth in the news, bro. Like I said, it's a dirty business. So how about this? We promise not to lie. Ben tells him sounds like a fair start. Peter then walks into the bar joining them. Seems like you two are enjoying yourselves right now. Everybody in the Bugle are going crazy. Peter lets them know that Robbie is now in charge of the paper. So my job is still intact. The real question is what y'all gonna do? We decided to start our own news business. You want a job? Jonah decides to call it a night and leaves Peter with Ben. Ben, I gotta know. How'd you do it? What? How'd you blow up your whole life in one afternoon, then start up a new one? Peter, my wife is dead. You're a grown man. You have a family of your own. And given the opportunity, I just couldn't take being in an industry of compromise for 1 minute more. Why wouldn't I do what I did? It was an easy choice. Peter, what's going on? My wife is very much alive and I have a family of my own with responsibilities and shit, but I don't know that I can blow up everything in my life just because I want to change. Peter just lets Unc know that he feels like something is wrong with his life. Feels like his purpose was to do something much bigger. Ben gets up telling him, don't spend your life waiting for something to happen. Make it happen. I love you, son, but if you're walking around half asleep with your own life, then it's time to wake your ass up. He then heads home. Later that day, we see Peter tucking his kids in. He goes to the living room to talk to his wife. MJ got the wine ready and everything. They talk about their day for a little bit, but then MJ cuts to the chase. What's going on, Peter? Peter looks down and finally tells her, I need a change. Hey, when I quit to start my business last year, you were the first one 100% on board. No, MJ. I need a change. Oh, that? What do you mean that? I know you, Peter Parker. You're an amazing father and husband, but you've been walking around for years with this cloud hanging over you. You put the good face on, but you're not satisfied with who you are. Do you know what you have to do? Peter looks at her. Yes, I think so. Are things gonna change between us? Never. She gives him a kiss. Well, then that settles it. And baby, go get him, Tiger. So he grabs that silver ball from earlier and heads up to the roof of his building. And that's when we get a flashback of last night. Lightning starts emitting from this object. Peter Parker, this is for Parker. Peter Parker. Then an Iron Man hologram appears. Hello, if this went as I planned, I'm talking to Peter Parker right now. My name is Tony Stark, and while it's likely you heard of my father's name, you probably never heard of mine. I got bad news for you, kid. After what you did, everybody knows your name. I'm sending you this 6 months into the future. There was an attempt on my and my companions' lives, and we only had seconds to escape before the orbital platform fired.
What?
So we went to the only safe place we could. Tony gives Peter knowledge about the terror attack. Then the box opens and the silver ball appears. This is for you. In that ball, there's a Pico-Tech stealth suit to mask your identity, and a bioorganic catalyst necessary for you to undergo a post-human transformation. What the hell does that mean? 20 years ago, you were supposed to be bitten by a radioactive spider. This would have gave you powers and you would have became one of Earth's most prominent heroes. Instead, a great evil named the Maker traveled through time, erasing all superheroes from existence. And you were one of them. He did this so him and his gang could treat this Earth as some kind of experiment, creating a society that could be perfectly directed and controlled. I'm reporting this to others like you. If I did this shit right, I should walk out of this room and see that Earth has regained its heroes. And together, we could free the world. And I really hope that you're one of the people among us. You were supposed to have a different life, Peter Parker. You were supposed to protect the innocent, save lives, inspire the citizens to be their best selves. But instead, all of it was taken from you. These people stole your future, robbed your destiny. The question is, do you want it back? Peter opens the ball. I want it. And the radioactive spider is revealed. Then wake up and go get him, Tiger. And he lets that spider bite his hand, becoming the ultimate Spider-Man. It's just the beginning and he got the default black suit with no designs right now. His journey is crazy. Let me know if y'all want to continue seeing it. On that note, I'm gonna see y'all boys and girls next time.